What's that? This button. Yeah. I want to thank Rabbi Yosef Yafi for all the hard work he puts in faithfully, on time. I don't know, in this door, he's definitely not from the door. On time and everything claps and everything works and everything. You know, it's mamish l'malam and ateva. To be namal today is one of the tall orders. I mean, after they read a shidduch, oh, he's normal too. Since when is that it's a sign to be namal is a grace zach. I know one of my relatives went to learn one of the top yeshivas in Eretz Yisrael, and Rashiva mentioned the shvach. He's normal. It's a gogevaldi. To be namal, it's an unusual accomplishment. Well, smach there. And I want to thank Torah Anytime, Kavish Gochem Pratis, and I want to thank Kol Loshen. I want to thank the Rebbeinu Shalom. Oh, I want to thank Jack for all the good times he's given me in this world. I'm joking. Jack, hey, Jack, with Johnny, with Strupkov. I'll get the mention. Who's this guy? Oh, this is Gold Label Johnny. This is Gar Madrega. You know, it's Chusim, we're going to be happy this Purim, I mean, this Shavuos. I don't please the Olam, they call it, I don't like to say a Goyish type of thing, but they call it a Freudian slip. I'm always saying, every Yom Tov, I say, okay, you should have a Freilich and Purim. Oh, I mean Pesach. I'm always saying Purim, by mistake. Oh, said Purim. Oh, Yeshuos. Yeah. Have a good, I was about to say good Shabbos. Have a good Purim, I mean good Shabbos. So there's some people slip, you know, now you know what I'm really all about. I got your Purim. I hold that for this door, you have to make Purim ikra. Purim has to take over your life. You don't make Abdullah on Purim and keep remembering that. There's a reason for it. No Abdullah after Purim. Stay like that. You want to have sanity? Now I want to talk about what's going on in Eretz Yisrael. It's very, very, very much on my mind. And I have besides what's going on, when things I don't get what I want. I told the Yebishter more than once that I'm a fast food type of American, that you made us like that, and I'm very impatient. And very often I get exactly what I want, especially when I need money, talking weekly. The other time I said, Yebishter was giving me hundreds. Yebishter, I need money. They're coming from this side, that this guy wants a few thousand, that way. I need more money. Money kept coming in. But I still owe him 2,000, still owe 4,000. Eibishter, I asked for thousands. I said, Bazal Lashin. That day, $7,200. I got money for whatever. One of my moshim. Thanks for the moshim, here's some money. Anyway, somebody gave me $500 and is expecting big Yeshuas, and it didn't happen yet. So finally I said something, for $500, what do you want?
Yeah, we paid.
$500, that's all you give. So Grada, right, it was a few months, and they weren't in touch with me enough. I said, hey, Bishta, it's 4 months. This doesn't make sense. The next day, there was a big turnaround. A little boy never, whatever. The brother told me, and he said, I just called my father, and father said there's a major difference in his matzah, because I told the Eibishter it's already 5 months, and they give me 4 months, 5 months, something like that, and they gave me $500. Eibishter, you're putting me in a pickle. You know, I say how I feel, and the Eibishter responds. You know that, I once said this in the Neiroyis, a certain younger man's wife was sick. Something happened to her as a child never. By the way, I am upside down, according to that. Is that the way you want me to be? I said Purim, I get what he asked for. But okay, now I see what I look like upside down. It's not bad. That's what I look like upside down. By the way, if I'm laughing, I'm giving all the simcha that the Eibishter gives me to laugh a little bit, which is a big inyan. Should be a schutz for our holy brothers and Eretz Yisrael, tzaddikim, gemurim, every one of them. whoever ever lives in Eretz Yisrael, it's a tzaddik yisei dolam, and they're all tzaddikim, and those that are not so great, for whatever reason, the Chazon Ish already said, it's Tenik Shenishbis. No? Didn't the Chazon Ish say that? Tenik Shenishbis. So I don't, all the holy Jews, I'm not officially, I don't want to say what. I'm not getting involved in whatever. But right now, we're being done everyone the Kapschus. And we're saying they're holy Jews, and it's a big union. At a time like now, you must say good things about everybody. You want to say people, say how great they are, all those in Eretz Yisrael. And don't be afraid to be a liar. I'm going to tell you a story. This happened during the 6-Day War. I knew I knew a younger man who was Rahman al-Islam, an agnostic. I asked him, he's told me he's an agnostic. He says, what does that mean? He says, whatever, it's a kind of kfira. It's from the lesser kaifrim. He's not sure. Whatever. That's not the real, not a ganze kaifa, a halber kaifa, whatever it is. He told me. And the guy was a very sweet fellow. He looked yeshivish. It was a pella. He went without a yarmulke. He seemed to have it in him, I don't know, but that was the matzah. And I used to meet him here and there. I don't know if I would talk to such a person. I don't think it's so healthy to have to do it. Some people have to, but I don't know. I like to hang around yeshiva guys. You know that it says Am Mordechai. You know Mordechai like yeshiva people. What did it say? That Naomi Rus Dovka, she liked the army. You know, the Malbim says, she says, I want a Geiris either way, but I prefer from you. And she said, I'm not budging from you. Wherever you go, I'm staying there. Like she was, the Nakuda there was, it was Yiddishkeit, but the person who presented Yiddishkeit to me knew how to do it. Naomi means sweet. She showed Darkei Naim, the sweetness of the Derech HaTorah. She was Meridik Naomi. Meridik, even Arpa, who was a different world, Rahman al-Islam. But Nami had a kayach even over her. Heilige Nami. Anyway, so where am I up to? So the all the Yidden, you have to see good. You have to see good in everybody. It's a big tikkun. Everybody's tzaddikim. Amech kulam tzaddikim. Even no matter who, what, when, Yadan, Lakaf, Schus. Chazon Ish said such a psak about Teichach, whatever. They were all Tinish and Nishba. It's a different world today. You can't man nobody. All those Heilige Yidden Eretz Yisrael, we know the truth about them. They're really good. But anyway, getting back to this agnostic that I met in Eretz Yisrael. So I met him during this, just 2 weeks before. Agnostic is a guy that's not an atheist. He's halfway there. He's not sure. Unless a madrega of an emissary kaifa. It was Alba Maisa, whatever. I don't know what you want to call him. And I used to speak to him. And during the war, just before the war, a few weeks before the war, the air was thick with tension. The tension was shreklach. Everybody was abandoning, they were leaving the country. Big people left. One Adam Gadol Ad Ma'id got on the first plane, he flew. People had time to say, he went through the Nazis, you can't be done him. He wants more of that stuff. And there was a major, major threat of who knows where we're going to head. And those weeks before the war, yeshivas, all the showing a lot of merit. My parents sent me a ticket from the Greek Airlines, and they were begging me to come home. And Rav Scheinberg got up in Mattersdorf, he got up outside, I remember it was, and he said, Rabbi Isai, I'm guaranteeing you it's nothing. And I have Einiklach. Remember that? I have Einiklach here, and I'm staying with my Einiklach. So don't be afraid. Stick around. It's going to be all right. Rav Scheinberg, a Kleinigkeit. There's a Bטחון. Anyway, so I meet this guy in the street. People were changing. I remember in the middle of the war, I heard all the worst, the lowest, the friar, Raklit Palel. I had a nurse over there. They took me into Mogen David Adom to give blood. And I'm not saying, oh boy, we were saying Dillam. And Chaklit Bella, oh, since when are you one of those? Like, boy, got into you. The biggest Tziyanim during the war, I heard this from Yerushalayim Yid. Oh, you got to hear the way, I don't want to say his name. The way when the war comes, Rabotai, Ana Hashem Oshiro. What got into you? Rakabori Olam. Ooh, into son. They're all giving Musish Moose and these top Tziyanim, the worst of them. There's no atheist in a foxhole. You know? You ever heard that? Oliver from, and I was there in the ambulance at nighttime. They couldn't put on the headlights because there was a blackout in Yerushalayim because you were afraid they'll see you, they'll spot you. I remember I was a very shy kid. This is the first time I did a prat without having to go to Novandik. I was so petrified. The weeks before the war, especially Yerushalayim, had a blackout because their mom is right next door. And they see lights on, oh, you're finished, they'll know where to shoot. So somebody went to the bed, whatever, in an apartment house across the street from Rav Shimon's yeshiva, and I saw the light, gave a scream, Sagon at the door! And the light went out, they were scared of me. I lost my shyness, I wasn't gonna, so I see this guy, and I meet him in the street. People were from. I mean, everybody's getting from. And he's without his yarmulke. I says, come on. Now you're also... No, I have to be eisgehalten. I don't know, that's where I'm holding. No, I can't do that. That's a principle. No, you can't. You can't do things like that. You have to be honest with yourself. He's not holding, by putting on a yarmulke. It's the middle of a war. I don't want to even katragan the guy. He doesn't understand what he's saying, what he's doing. But there you go. Honest people. I'm not into honesty. I'm not one of those. I heard they say, you want to be straight? Go. Straight. Right off the cliff. You're going to end up. Don't be a zai. They say during the war, the Nazis once told the guy, if you're 70, we'll leave you alone. He says, no, I'm 69. They shot him dead. And he thinks he's getting Olam Haba. It's a true story. Something similar to that. He thinks Elch, Nate, Elchkeit, the Dav Zayin Emes, and Yaakov Avinu. What? The Galach?
The Galach was hiding the Yidden.
What?
The Galach was hiding the Yidden.
Right.
So they came to him. They're Yidden with you. So I never told the lie until now. I'm not going to tell why now. They're Yidden with me. I don't lie.
That's what he said. Really? Wow. Ganze Tzaddik. Anyway. At his Levaya, never told a lie. So how come by Yaakov Avinu it says that he's emisly, that's his midah. Yaakveni zeh pamayim. The first parsha that Yaakov Avinu should introduce to Klal Yisrael, to the Torah, what's Yaakov Avinu all about? 2 stories of tricking his brother. That's the first thing we know about Yaakov Avinu. Let's get a preview of what emes is. His midah is emes. That's the emes. You got it. You have to be, like the snake, the nachash. You got to be a bissel. Don't be. You can't always be so straight. You have to watch what you're doing, being straight. So I'm very much. Rabbi Miller has a tape called "The Artificial Man." It's the best tape in the universe, where a person is making believe all the time. You've heard the tape? It's half of a fellow. And he told me, Zeichet Tzadik Bracha, Rabbi Miller, told me, I took a walk with him, and he started telling me shvachas about somebody that, is that really true, Rabbi Miller? What are you saying, Oh, wonderful person. Oh, so interesting. You're the first one that ever said that about so-and-so, and he was raving. Yes, will be very successful, I could tell. And he spoke with a chavivis about, what a wonderful person. And it all came true. This person made a big turnaround. I know the person. Right afterwards, I give Rabbi Miller credit for his lies. Thank Rabbi Miller's lies. So I'm one of those big liars. Bashita. That's called working on midas. Working in Ayin Tova. You want to hear the first-rate liar of the universe? I'm not allowed to talk like this. It's not derech eretz. I just want to be funny. But the Baron Belzer, he know how to. do that. He would talk about the tzadikei hador in the worst chevra. No, they're doing this l'shem shemaim, that l'shem shemaim. Oh, the Machal Shabbos, yeah, well, they skipped the Mishnah there. What? Yoldis. Yeah, the Machal Shabbos. The Yoldis. It's the Yoldis. What is he doing? Is he playing games? He's a Purim Rav? What's going on? Do you know that my Shvager and Motche Feder Zeichet Tzaddik Bracha? Beautiful stuff. Pinchas, if you're listening, there's Pinchas Kayin, his name is. He puts it out. Maybe should give you Kol Tov Sela. I never even met him. And he's writing it for me. He's beautiful. We have another great person, Nassim Zweig. He puts out the other. They're myriad. They're even better than me. Shtol Zafar. And we're Blazer Fried. This is Blazer Fried is already getting calls from all over. Novhardok community newsletter. What's there? Hey, I want the Torah anytime to see it. Oh, I was punk davening for you. Seriously, before I was davening, maybe I need money. I need money. I'm davening. It never fails. I go this way, and it comes this way. I told you how I can't. I keep repeating. I don't know, but the story is so great. For years, the secretary used to make 200 copies of Bטחון weekly booklets. A school? But I'll let it. I'm not going to fight around with him. He's letting it. So 200 copies. I didn't speak to the secretary. I used to send the kid, and he'd say, Eibishter, I need it done. Eibishter, I need it done. Everything. I just go to Eibishter, one address. I want to get things done. Go to the Eibishter. Else, once the machine broke, it was Erev Sukkos. You can ask Rabbi Posner, he was Sis Manal. That was one of my first Baisim. The machine was over. It was Erev Sukkos. All the Malamdim they need for Sukkos to have, on Sukkos. So what do? There's no, you need the material on Sukkos, the Yom Tov, the booklets, all the Rabbeim, they're going Meshuggah and that. So then, I asked, what's going on? So he said, the machine's broken, it's over. So I walked away, hey, Mr. Fix that machine! Right afterward, mine was beautiful. And Rabbi Posen said, that was Mandel's Meifus. That's when I was a young Rebbe. It was like one of my first Meifsim in the younger years. Like, now I'm already I'm up, at this point, I had about 23 some Meissims already. I'm joking. You know, the Minig Yisrael is, before you say Vido, you call Mandel. And you'd be surprised how many people walk out afterwards. But anyway. Chaim Tevim. So, L'chaim. All the Yidden in Eretz Yisrael should have Yeshua's Gemurim. They are Tzadikim Gemurim. They're the best people in the world. All of them, they're all turning around. They're all getting better every day. We know them. Everyone here is made. All those holy Jews in Israel, please help them, Tata. Don't let them never psychological. What's going on? They don't want to talk about it. They're afraid to walk in the street, whatever. We don't like to talk. I know I can be very excited. I know. I say everyone gets. I'll tell you some gory details what's going on in Israel. But I refuse. I will not let someone else tell over the gory details, and he'll be the fascinating reporter that will make the headlines. You know, there were when certain things happened, there were different tabloids, they're called, the newspapers. And there was always one newspaper, the most popular one was the one that knew how to get the goriest picture of that horrible, and they knew how to write horrible, they wrote it the worst. They were the most popular newspaper. They knew how to get the message across. Everybody read their paper. And they put the other guys out of business because they knew how to be more, tell over the bad news. The Yisdaps was saying, what's this? Oh, yeah. Shikay, what would I do without you? The Abish just sends me. Anyway, so I don't want to tell over what's going on exactly. I'll tell you why. And I insist on this. First, I want to talk about in this room now, there's about 200 guys here. Did you hear that? Joking. 200 healthy stomachs, 200 healthy hearts, I'm dancing. It's great. If Chas v'Chalila I would hear about somebody who has one of these Zevarim are not so great, I'd have aggravation. You know? So why not have simcha that everything's knocking? Why, it doesn't make sense. I'm sorry. I will fight you to the end. Simple arithmetic. Simple, come on. Lamali cross varahu. I'm not talking Chavis Avavas. That's what he's all about, by the way. Chavis Avavas. The whole sefer is full of that. I said up shop. Why do you have Bikurim on Matan Torah? What's up is Bikurim? There's other reasons, but I want to say a reason. Because Bikurim means thankfulness. And the Heilige Chavis Avavas says, the whole Yiddishkeit is nothing more than thankfulness. I'm giving a vod. You know why? I'm thankful for eating, sleeping, for existing. You know why I'm putting on tefillin? I'm thankful to Hashem. He wants me to do that. You know why I'm keeping Shabbos? I'm thankful. Everything has to have that stempel. Everything you do is a gesture of thankfulness to the Eibishter. And when something good happens, you got to be scared. Maybe I'm not thanking him enough. You gotta be scared. Thank what's with you. Your whole life is thankfulness. Everyone would stop. If they learned that, that's not Shar B'Tachon, by the way, mainly. You might have a little bit. That's Shar B'Tachon. Yeah, boy, does he speak about it. He said, you be thanking your head off all day. Say goodbye to all your peklach. Why do you get peklach? You're fetching all over. That's what everyone's doing, so. Well, you shot him in Minagamakam. What do you hear people doing all day? How's your pekel doing? You also have peklach? Peklach? Alright, that's life. We all have peklach. What? Peklach? You know, I once met Rabbi Yankel Greenwald's Zatzal in his later years. I met him at a chasana. You know, Tzadik Yisrael, Yankel Greenwald, a doctor, a psychologist. Everyone, nothing held from him. Yeah, everyone held from him. Tzadik Yid. He was close to the stipulist, close to the commission. He wrote a whole sefer. His correspondence with the stipend and everything. Rabbi Yankel Greenwald, I asked him, tell me about the capitulants, because I'm a capitulant. I wanted to hear about him. Avramenu, tell me about Avramenu. You know what he told me? He told me Avramenu had a pekel. He also had an issue. How do you thank the Eibishter enough? That was his pekel. Avramenu, that's I hold. Make sure you get that pekel. All your other pekels will disappear. I hold it to them as a pekel too. How do you thank him? It's ridiculous how good he is. Get moving on it. It's such a good life. Look, everyone's okay over there. Everyone's healthy. It's very nice. Yeshiva light. I'm in awe. I do want to tell you, it's Erev Shavuos. I am totally in awe of B'nai Torah. I have people calling me up. Well, this lady calls me up. What did your husband do? He's learning the past 20 years. Are you serious? What's the big spiel? To me, that's a big spiel. Learning 20 years. My husband learning 5 years. 5 years learning Torah day and night. That's a joke. You know he is. Or Malach is, but they tell you. It's not volume. Ben Torah is not volume. In Novanik, they had a very big sensitivity on Ben Torah. Ben Torah. You know what he did? Rishon Yankov, the eldest son-in-law, Rav Kozowitz's father, he was one of the builders of Yankov. He learned there, Branovich, I think it was. He learned there. And he saw, he was there running from the Nazis, and he sees by the mikveh, Rav Shel Yankov standing by the mikveh. What is he doing by the mikveh? He was washing his face. With what? Before they went to the mikveh, or shower, whatever, the bachrim used to wash themselves a little bit. And there was a pool of that dirty water. And he was washing himself with that water like that water was Gan Eden by him. The B'nai Torah, it's the water of B'nai Torah. He felt it. You know what a B'nai Torah is? You don't chop. Your mamish don't chop who you're dealing with. A B'nai Torah. He sits and learns a Abai and Rava. Among other things, he's lucky. That's somebody who sits and learns. He has Olam Haba. Oh, right here. That's Gan Eden. So those who live and learning, what are you talking? I'll quote something. This happened in Kiryat Sefer. The stipler, Chaim Kanevsky, was a sandik at a bris, and he looks outside the window and he sees a fence. a fence around, there's an Arab right next door. He looks out, what? A fence around Kiryat Sefer? There's 3,000 young Galiot who have been learning Masfidim Gedolim day and night. He says, you're surrounded by thousands of blood to Gemara. You need a fence for the Arabs? You're worried about them? So he was mamish bench. So he said, no, it's the Arab. Oh, okay. It's the Arab. Yeah. Well, see, he couldn't handle it. I heard this. Aid me PA. It's a true story. They're surrounded by Torah. You know, b'nei Torah, a black Gemara. Eibishter, let those blettalach that these people sit and learn day and night scream to you and tell you, Eibishter, leave those people alone. What? There you go. Serious nefesh. Unser Heiliger Reb Chaim. Holy Jews, I want to tell you, I told my closer story today. There's the Tanchum, I believe. The Chavetz Chaim used to speak about a Chazal, a murdered, a beautiful Chazal. This Yid couldn't learn too good. So he didn't learn any. He couldn't learn. So he took Chagiga. And he learned Chagiga, which is a small mistach. This is the way Chazal say it. A small one, an easy one. I don't know. That kasha I have in the Chazal. Chagiga is easy. The first half is easy. That's true. There's a lot of Haggadahs. But the second half, Chaim B'Kodesh, is easy. I don't know. What do you say? Maybe I think, no, what do you say, Chagiga? You don't think it's hard to learn? Anyway, but he used to learn Chagiga day and night. And, because he couldn't do anything else. So he learned Chagiga. And he was a man who lived alone. He had no family, nothing. And then he was Nifta. When he was Nifta, no one knew about it. And suddenly this lady dressed in white comes screaming at the top of her lungs. And the whole town jumps up. Who's it? She runs, crying like the worst thing happened. What's this? Come! He's laying here. Our biggest tzaddik in the world. He's come. And they all come. They say, what's this? There's no dead man, no family. That's mitzvah. They pick him up and they do what you have to do. And they bury him. She's standing there at the Levi is screaming like the worst thing in the world happened. And then finally, there's a Chazal. And finally, before the Levi was over, they asked her, who in the world are you? My name is Chagiga. I'm the Masechta that he learned. He learned all his life, he learned Chagiga. So the Chavetz Chaim, pick one Masechta and learn it your whole life. And it's going to stick up for you in the next world. It's going to scream for you. Get a Masechta and stick with it. Yoilam Abba Masechta. And he'll scream, you're in trouble in the next world. You did this up here, that up here. That Masechta is alive. He's going to get up. And he's going to go to bat for you. Leave him alone. He learned me. You know, there was a Rav. I heard this from Mendel. I don't know exactly what the real happened there. There's supposed to be a Rav in Eretz Yisrael looks at your forehead. And he can tell what you did that day. All your Averas. I knew a Yid. His name was Rav Chashin. They say, when people walked into they put their hats down, they were scared. He's going to see everything. But they say there's another Rav who could see whatever you did that day. But if you learned 2 hours that day, he don't see nothing. Did you hear that? Tated, Machaper Avalis. A kleiner guy, sitting and learning. The guys who want to learn and are having trouble, don't make a way. Maybe the whole base medish is on your shoulders. It's not a joke. All the guys that wish they could learn and they suffer and they're having difficulties, all the ADHD, the guys that get tutoring, there's whatever it is. You know who they are. You know what Palm Batzar and me, you have no idea. Anyone around Lakewood, they're already here because there's something for Torah that they want. And if they're having difficulties, does the Abish to love them to pieces? Anyway, so we're very lucky before Kabbalah Satayda. And if you're not learning so good, you want to learn, that's not a joke. You're trying to learn, and when you see everyone else learning, you're burning with envy. Look at that guy screaming and learning, look at me. You know how many guys have that problem? I don't want to tell you how many. I think about 90% of the Yolam has to watch everyone else steiging more than them, and they're dimion. The guy that's screaming, as soon as he's finished, he's looking at you. And he thinks, you're the lucky guy. All right, whatever. Anyway, I have to get to the Vardiga touch about Shavuos. What does the Vardig have to say about Shavuos? The Vardig. They have their own. The Malachim. By the way, I'm going to tell you, the Golem, it's a banner. You're proud. The Degel. Boom, 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 right? The Golem is a big zach. Every Shevet had its own Degel. According to Nitzit, every base office had their own Degels. The Golem all over. In other words, every Stiebel's got its own whatever. Now, the Golem had a picture of the stones of the Choshen on it, that color. Reuben had a red Degel because he had a red stone. Each one had a Degel stone. Now, what's that stone all about? Who needs the stones? It's brought down everywhere. Those stones have medicinal properties. I once walked into a health food store. I saw a bunch of stones over there. Different precious stones. And the guy inside told me, see that purple stone? That's good for your heart. The stones have koiches. And I saw Shevet Shimon had a certain weakness in their avodah, in their midas. This Shevet suffered from kinna, the other one taiva, the other one covered. Each one kas. We got a stone for you. That'll take care of your problem. The stones were there to take care of the midas. So, of course, you don't just go with the stones. You got a muchazach. But either way, the dagel is a symbol. That's our midah that we're working on. We're proud. You have a problem with a midah? Pick up a dagel. I'm proud. That's my midah. I'm very happy. Why are you so proud about that you have bad midas? You want me to tell you who's not so proud? The Malachim. They came to the Yevishter. Why don't you give us the Torah? They said, Kum kena yesh bechem. You don't have no kena. Kum sinas chinam. You don't have shaykh to that. You don't have any bad midas. No Torah for you. Oh. So we're proud that we... So don't be so upset. You have what to work on. It's great. Anyway. So that's the Vardik. The Yom Tov is working on midas. They put in time because it's a midas. Musa of Hashteitzach, the more Musa the better. And there's an Adam Gadol. When Rechayzer from Blin was Nifta, they were all crying. It's a famous story. Everyone was crying. Chayzer from Blin was Nifta. Everyone's crying. All the Chassidish Rebbe's there. What are we going to do with Adam? The Chayzer from Blin, there's no one around. So got up one of the Grace Chassidish G'daylim, and he said, what's wrong with me? I'm a goyim, I'm a tzaddik, I'm a kaddish, I'm very careful what he spoke. That's the story goes. A half an hour, he gave a self-hesped. How do you like that one? He's my man. He is my mahalach. I see, I didn't just make this up. He went to my mahalach. Spent a half an hour telling, I hold those people who blow themselves up all day and a whole day Givaldi. And I'll say everybody here, you're zeicher to come to Rabbi Mendel's share. That's not pushing. So whoever's zeicher to come here is a big madrega that you can sit and listen to me for an hour. You all have I admire all my listeners. They have a lot of patience. For Americana, that's how much patience. It's pretty good. I think there's a malaman at Teva. Well, a malaman at Teva, you sit and listen to me for an hour. Usually, the Rabbeim, they were forced in different meisters. They forced them to listen to different instructors and to teach them how to teach. So so they have to go, and they have the top guys for Shteitza. But the Rebbeim sit there and have to sit out an hour and a half, and listen to this guy. So all the Rebbes get a good taste of what it means to be a student. Not easy. You have to sit, see it. That's what your kids have to go through when you get up there and speak every day. I used to sit into other Rebbes and watch them because I want to learn how to teach, So way back I used to. Recently I don't do it, not because I feel so overqualified. It's because I can't sit there for more than 5-10 minutes. How do you sit there? I admire, look at the kids. How do you do it? I sit there 5 minutes. Okay, I think I'd like to go now. Rebbe says, he looks at me, is everything okay? Yeah. Everything's okay. I just think I gotta go. for 5-10 minutes to sit. That's a godless, no? It's a big madriga. Anyway, so the now you should know that Shavuos. What's Shavuos? Kabbalah Satir, Mashkiach Zatzal Rav Nosson, the Zayda of our illustrious Taira Reb Aaron. He used to learn a whole Shavuos non-stop. He said it's a Zman of din for Asman Zatir. Abish is looking, watching you. I used to do that. I used to do that. I used to sit. I remember once I was sitting over on Menachos. I went out of my mind. Come on. It wasn't easy. I was learning. So Shavuos, learning. Whatever. I tried. I don't know if I could do that. No way. I'm not going to do it this time. But whoever could do it, it's a biggest chus. Learn Bas Mother. Whatever, if you can't, that's ideal. Sit and learn. It's the biggest sweetness in the universe. Daven for it. Daven for Geschmack and learning. Whatever, say it all day. You'll get it more and more if you ask for it. The main thing is daven. Say the Chazon Ish Harvard more and Tefillah. Then he once spoke to Rav Schlesinger. He was a chabrusa with the Chazon Ish. Well, Yaakov Schlesinger, famous, the brisker. Now he's a brisker, but he started with the Chazon Ish. So he told me that he heard the Chazon Ish screaming in the basement. Shir Amal! He's like, what happened? Went down. What happened? So they told him he's having trouble with the Taisus. He had trouble with the Taisus. So he's screaming, Shir Amal! I tell him, maybe if we'd scream Shir Amal for Pshat and Taisus, we wouldn't have to scream other types of Shir Amal. So who knows? That's to him knowing. They say the Chazon Ish heard more in Tefillah than Tefillah to learn more than the learning itself. All right. Everybody's different. Everybody is a different world. Don't you dare do what someone else is doing. Don't get near it. I'm very happy. Oh, you learn non-stop. Very good. I'm not doing that. I'm not. You want me to crack up? I once did. Look, I'm more Ian type. Lately, I'm learning how to do things I couldn't do before. But I remember at the Daf Yomi, the whole place was going Meshuggah. There was one of these, the Daf Yomi, I'm going back, I don't know, 30 years ago. The whole world was going Meshuggah. Daf Yomi, you got to finish shots. Look what they just did. They all got together. Reb Shlomo Freifel was there. And he saw me, I saw him there. I said, "Was macht ihr, Reb Shlomo?" He says, "No, was sagt ihr, Yehuda? Lernen Shas? Yehuda, it's not for you." Yehuda, you heard that? Not, yeah, Shas. Not for you. I heard Moshe Feinstein get up. I heard him say it. There are some people who came to this world not to finish Shas. They came to finish half Shas. I heard it. Me Petkoche. Moshe should have been a mashkiach. He understood people so well. Anyway. So, you do what you're good at. Now, Grada, at this point in the game, through the years I've been steiging. Right now, there's a Meiser with Rabbi Victor Miller. He said, Matzev la'kezev v'kor la'zov, it's a pasuk in Mishlei, v'ish kefi ma'aloloi. So, every person, want to know who he is? Have a Freilich and Yom Tov. What are we getting together again? Who? When are we getting together again? Shavuos night. I'm supposed to speak for the kids. I don't think it will. What? Who? You're going to hear me with the kids over there. You know what somebody told me? He said, Rabbi Mendel, he's a big Talmid Chacham. I should have come hear you speak Shavuos night for the kids. I spoke where Kalman wasn't well, so I spoke for the kids. So he says, I should have come. You know what I told the guy? First of all, thanks for the compliment. And second of all, I believe you. He looked at me. You really believe it? I said, yes. Hey, you know what you said? I don't ask you. David's speaking. See? That's how great I am. I only take compliments. I'm not my ayin, did he mean it? I'm not into that sugya. I'm a simple person. I'm not a chacham for the manashtana. Oh, the Tom is the happy one. The rest of them have a very big shmooze. A Tom and a chacham is one of the best rest of the stories. They are beautiful. The Tom ends up taking over the world. The chacham ends up in the garbage can. Don't be so smart. Tom, I'm Tom. So that's why I accept all compliments that they give me. That's mamish min hashamayim, and I accept them. I believe them. And any criticism that I hear, the guy's not in a good mood. You know, it doesn't mean it's nothing. I'm perfect. Anyway, that's my shita. You could. Where am I up to? So every person, Rab Miller, he says like this. He says, "Ish kivim alala." 3 people come back from the Rebbe. Kuptarain, Rabbi Krum, Kuptarain. Each person praises. He says, "I love the divrei Torah of the Rebbe." The other person says, "I love the Gunim," and the other guy says, "I like the Kugel." Each person is saying who you are. What you praise, that's what you are. So look, when you go to a Rebbe's dish, there's different things going on, and everybody in his madriga. So I would like to say that this Shavuos, I'm going to be very happy with my wife's cheesecake. Wasser Schlech. What's bad? I'm very happy. I believe in eating cheesecake. Vashita. I don't just eat cheesecake. I eat it. Do it with a stoltz. Don't be eat the cheesecake guilty. Oh, I shouldn't be doing that. I should be learning. Oh, after all these years, you're still in the Taivas Elamazah. Now look, there are people who it's fine. Knock yourself, and maybe it'll straighten you out a little bit. You lose a little weight, won't kill you. So don't eat so much. Some people need to hear that. Some people, it's awesome to hear that. Enjoy that cheesecake once and for all. Enjoy it. And thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu for the cheesecake. And say, Eivish, I'm eating that cheesecake because it's the day that you gave the Torah, and this is my way of expressing it. Famous story about Shemaka. He tells him I with a kid. It was Rosh Hashanah, and he saw things were in the Xeris in Shemaim. It was a Gefelach. In walks a little kid, Beis Medish, a young boy who didn't know how to learn a word on a Moritz the Raisa, and he comes in with a flute, and he says, he looks around, everyone's davening. He says, I want to do something. He takes out a musical instrument and he starts playing in the middle of Rosh Hashanah. It's a famous story, you know. And Baal Shem HaKadosh said, he was Mavatlik Zeta. Because of the sincerity. We're a little bit like him. We're not quite that big, but we're a little bit of that Mahalach. A sincerity. Abish, this is the best I can do. I wish I could be better. But this is where I'm holding. Can I have another slice? No, the other kind I like better. Thank you. And compliment your Everton. And compliment the Abish there. I'm serious. It's Kodesh Kedoshim to be a normal, happy Jew. To walk in there and say, Abish, just say it in English. Thank you so much for giving us the Torah. That's all. Do it as much as you can. You know how halig that is. Be real. Be real. It's a time, the Sfarim HaKadoshim say that Shavuos, you have to give the biggest simcha is Shavuos. And of course, if you're one of my friends, take the Chayvas HaVaves and enjoy. Get a Sha'ar B'Tachon and go into Ilam Haba. Sha'ar B'Tachon. Worried about the war. There's so many worries in your head. You don't even know. They're subconsciously, consciously, they're all over the place. You don't even know yourself. And sit there. The Novanikers are always writing down what bothered me before yesterday. I used to see them writing down. It's part of their Musa Seder. Kinei l'chachava, they say in Navarik. The Kana, take a pen, and he's going to be your friend. Write down. Write down. all the things that are bothering you. This guy said something. Some of them, I'm not so into that so much. Pick one burning issue and learn Musa on that. My brother-in-law, they just gave him shlishi and not me. Oh, and it hurt. Don't say anything. And write down. I cannot type out the Metzias Adam and oil and I'll learn Musa. So geschmack, nothing like it. You get rid of all these orders. You learn Musa with Bטחון. And learn Musa about thankfulness. Thanking the Avish to just thank your head off for your wife, for your kids, for your peckle. Thanks for this peckle. The peckle's saving me. Without a peckle, I'd be in the garbage can. Look, the golem, each one held up his peckle. There was a lot of embarrassing things that different Shvatim had. You know that. There's certain Shvatim had weaknesses. In Avodas Hashem, they fell into different things. And there he's holding a dagel, that's my banner, which is a stolz, it's a reimus, and then what does he have? The color of the stone that's needed to get rid of your nebuch. There's a bunch of kaisonim, this shevet. The other shevets is a bunch, they're busy being jealous of everybody. So they never need that help. What's wrong? In Novanik, I was called a Malgaivanik 2,000 times. By the way, that, I want to tell you, one of the biggest Novanikers told me, dealing with your children, do these type of things. Novanikers, ask your kid Mechila. Then I went to the son of this big dude, from the biggest Novanikers. The son is himself top. He's an emissary of Hashem. And I told him what his father said. Yes, Mechila from your son. He says, don't you dare. It's a different door, different people. Can't always do that. The son told me this, not to listen to his father. It's a different type of people. Anyway, you're working on your midas. You have to hold that this shvuas is the best shvuas in the world, especially if nothing's working, especially if you don't know the Gemara, especially if you fell asleep in the middle, especially if the cheesecake was disgusting. I'm joking. That's not happening. That's not the issue. And you don't know. I don't know. The new door, maybe they're into that. But whatever it is. Or your wife doesn't believe your compliments. I told you what I did the other day. I buy my wife books. I buy her gifts. Before Shama told me that every Yom Tov you have to buy your wife something covered Yom Tov. It's a din. So when you buy a little kerchief, a little something small that she like, a little bracelet, whatever small, you're not too. Maybe once in a while you want to spend some more money on something else. But generally, that's what Yom Tov is all about. So I do these type of things. And of course, I buy Sfarim for my wife, and I usually try to get something that I have ulterior motives. And every time I buy it, my wife's not stupid. Every time I buy it, give out the stuff, whatever you could give out. This is our representative in Jackson, Rabbi Wiener. Ambassador, that's right. Bring them all, bring it, thanks a lot. So what was I saying? So I tell my wife, could I have, so I buy her, look what I got for you. Gift wrapped, as a geschmack. She opens it up. You got it for me or for you? My wife's not a nar. Who'd you get it for? You wanted that book, so you're telling me you bought it for me. So, the kids of I got smart. And before I bought the book, I says, Eibishter, make her like it and not say anything and not stop that I'm part of this. I promise you. As soon as I did that, I bought the book. Ooh, beautiful book. How do you like that? What? What's that? My Rebbetzin. You know that the Aruch HaShulchan's wife used to watch every movie made. Keep that on, Rabbi Say. Keep that on. Take my Bטחון weeklies, Rabbi Say. Take them. Take a stack of them. I have so many, I have to get them moving. It's a big schooler, by the way. Give him a Bטחון weeklies, big schooler. The more you give out, the Rebbe gives a bigger bracha. All right? Thank you. And take the sheets also. Take this. It's a big school. What? What's that? Oh, this. Hey, 1 second. Rabbi Isai, come here. You know what this is? This is Rabbi Eliezer Fried from Muncie. Novhardik community. Look at this. Look, it's better. It gets better every time. Take these, give them out all over the place. This is the hottest thing around. It's beautiful. It's real. We're making that. Thanks to our representative in Muncie. We already have branches all over the place. No? South Lakewood. Anyway, so take a bite. Take. You can all take one. It's good stuff. Nems. Ah, very good. Okay, now. So, where am I up to? So when you buying your wife flowers, my wife can't stand flowers. I buy week after week, she doesn't like it. But I am able to make her like these flowers, I promise you. I bring it in. Ooh, they're beautiful. You see, I have what I call remote control. I control everybody. You know, there's a lot of marriages where everybody's worried about, he's controlling. You know how many times I've seen that? They're all over the place. He was at control. I don't know what they're talking about. Control, so let it control. What do you get? Like it's all be in control. Why shouldn't your wife control you a little bit, keep you out of trouble? Let it control us. By the way, I don't see my wife. Rabban Kreiser. This I really don't want, and no lady should hear this. Rabban Kreiser told me when he comes into his house, he doesn't see his wife. He's thinking and learning. That's something. He was the best husband in the world. Don't worry. Anyway, but a person should not see anybody except for the Eibush. Somebody did something, the Eibush, don't bug off with, my wife has acted. There are people calling me about problems with she did this and she did that. Who's she? The Eibush is testing your cars. Who's she? The Shver. What Shver? The Eibush is testing your cars to him, or via her, via this remark. You're missing the boat. You can steiger out with a nasty wife. And they're not nasty. Maybe I'm nasty. No, I'm not. I'm good also. We're all good. Everybody's good. But who cares? I knew a Yid from Eretz Yisrael. He lived in a moshav, and his wife was a real choladeus. Every time he came home, she cursed him to the ground. I saw this pain every easy. Was bist du gekommen nach Hause so spät? Was tust du es? Und Jens, when he Polish, Eden is, the real thing. The good old-fashioned know how to deliver a punch. And she used to rank him out to the ground. I saw this every night he came home. She wiped the floor with him. And he couldn't care less. Like, an American guy would be at the therapist, and they'd be spent his lifetime. Well, we're not really cut out. We're not really working it out. And he couldn't care less. He had a son, most well-adjusted kid you ever met. From a home like that, the mother's always yelling at the father and saying nasty things. Let her yell. Okay. So, it didn't mean a thing to him. And he used to, every curse she gave, he gave her 2 blessings. So the Leben is Mashiach, and that one I remember all the time. So the Zang is in the Stag, so the Leben is Mashiach. He used to come with his boots. He was a farmer. Come with his boots, and he used to give her blessings. He couldn't care less. Who has time to fight around? People who are bored. If you're bored, start a marital issue. If you're bored, you have nothing to do with yourself. Years ago, a woman once told me that the secret of her marriage is her husband's so busy. How you gonna fight? I know the lady. I am a nice lady. There's no time to fight. What are you fighting for? Who wants to fight? You won. I tell people, your wife, you fight back with her. If I would have that problem, I would say, what fight? You're right. You're always right. Bashita, you are right. And you're right, and I'll listen too. Whatever she wants. What do you care? If it comes to Ruchnius, Zakt, of David Blacha, you give your wife everything. Comes to Ruchnius, let her soak the floor with tears. You ain't budging with Ruchnius. Say Rabbi Salanta told his wife, it's brought down a Chazal like this. And Ruchnius, you're the boss, and Gashmi, she's the boss. There's a Chazal. When your wife go listen to her, and there's a Chazal say, Kol Shemei Latzas Ishtoi, Neifel Beganim. You know, the two steer the Chazals. So one is Ruchni, one is Gashmi. So I think Rabbi Salanta's wife said that when we got married, he said it straight. In Ruchni, I'm boss. In Gashmi, you're boss. A deal? Deal. And she made a remark, if I remember correctly, she still didn't find anything that wasn't Ruchnius. Everything was Ruchnius. Kitza. Anyway, so where are we up to? Can I stop? Yeah, I'm doing all right. No? Another 2 minutes? 2 minutes, that's enough. So the Eibus will help, Alhamdulillah, Freilich, and Yom Tov. As you give the Eibus a lot of nachas, don't listen to the Yetzer Hara, who's telling you you're not worth a penny. Don't listen! I don't care what you were over on. Shavuos is Eis Ratzon, Zaman Kapora, we said just Rosh Chodesh, Zaman Kapora, Yetzer Hara is having a ball with you. Now listen to this. This is Gedai to hear it. If you have a relative who hates somebody, he's Pasaliadis, a sign of your relative. If he loves them, he hates them, they're all puzzle. A Negeya B'Dover is Pasaliadis. If you don't like yourself, you're a Negeya B'Dover and you're puzzle. Now I don't care what you did. You're a Negeya B'Dover, you cannot trust yourself. But you did a terrible thing. A Negeya is puzzle. But you're a Negeya, you're puzzle. Because you are always pulling yourself down. The Welt says people build a case against themselves. They do it mentally. They're all day telling themselves, you're no good for this, for that, for that. You have a whole chasana proving that you're no good. And if you're one of those that you're getting bombarded from all sides, I shouldn't have said this, I shouldn't have said that, and I'm wrong here, wrong there. You're Negeya B'Dava, you have a thrill in pulling yourself down, you puzzle. But you didn't. It's puzzle. And I'll tell you another reason why you puzzle. You acknowledge all your milas? Nechtigetag. Nobody does. Do you know how big I am? Nobody. If the guys think, somebody just told me today, oh, Mendel, you know what you've become? You're a celebrity, he tells me. Really? I was curious what's going on. I don't know, but I'm not going to start. It doesn't pass me that I'm milking everybody. What did you hear about me? What did you hear? What did they say about me? Yeah. Yeah, they said I'm good. What they said, these guys like me, and those guys, oh yeah. Even those guys, oh, that's good. So it didn't pass me to ask. I was curious. What do you mean I'm a celebrity? What exactly? Explain that. Let's hear. Well, wait. Let's hear with all the mafarshim. Let's hear. Exactly what makes me a celebrity? I'm this. Oh, it's nice to hear. Well, it wouldn't be bad if I found that out. Would give me a boost for most dish. But anyway, it didn't pass me, and I want to show that I need covered. Anyway, so he tells me that so now the pshat's like, so I'm doing good, no? You think I'm finally happy? You think that's going to do the job? Not so fast. If you don't work on yourself to be sameach b'chalkai, they'll give you everything you dreamed of, and you still got to kvetch. You can be satisfied no matter what your mat is. No shaykhs with in what's happening. The big experts in Shalom Bayis say, usually, it doesn't matter what she's like. How do you look at things? You're a satisfied person, like this farmer. He's satisfied, no matter what. She's a witch, so what? She's nasty. Doesn't mean anything. I'm satisfied. I'm not interested in being sad. It's not my thing. A guy once said, I don't want to say his name. He once, from the big ones, from the big presidents, he said, a person is as happy as he wants to be. You want to be happy, you're happy. You don't want to be happy. You know why? You got a lot of attention when you're younger for being a sad sack. You feel very good about having pity on yourself. There's negias. You're in the process of pulling yourself down 24/7. So you're always not being happy is a choshev in your world because everybody's busy with therapists, busy fetching. And also, in fact, the best of us say being besimcha is in golas because they look at a guy who's happy like he's a little weird. Like, he's always happy. You're okay. You're supposed to be stressed a little bit, no? How come you're supposed to look like things are terrible? By the way, Rabbi say the best shvuas in the world is the shvuas that didn't work, but it's gonna work. Learn what you want to learn. Don't care what people think. Do what you like. Try to go along, but something you can. And enjoy being different. And with a stoltz, eat that cheesecake. Enjoy the music. Whatever you are good at, you be you. I kind of like this. Naomi was sweet. What's sweet about Naomi? Her maisim. What's sweet? She acted very beautiful. That's why Rus had such a Yetzirah. As soon as Orpah turned around, she was nestled with 100 men. Because Nus in Moav, that was their line, their whole creation. The Mefarshim say this. They're one shtick taiva. So she's a princess. She could have gone back and the world. What got her to get away from that stuff? Because she saw Naomi. And Naomi means sweet. She was so delicious, Naomi. Such a nice person. She was captivated. That's what she said. I'm going to sleep or you sleep. It wasn't just Yiddishkeit. It was Rus had the right Rebbe, a Ne'imistic person. That's why David came out of this. Ne'im Zemiros Yisrael. The sweetness. You want to combat the Yetzirah? Make it zis. Be mispalged. That thing should go b'shrak. Be mispalged. You'd have the best food you ever had. It was all helpful. Anyway, so she